Hey, Wooly, do you want to talk about anime?
I can talk about all of the anime.
Do you want to talk about all of the anime?
All of the anime is currently up for sale.
Wait, what?
Crunchyroll is up for sale. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to talk about Kiss anime?
Yeah, that is what I was going to talk about.
No, Crunchyroll is apparently up for sale.
Oh, that's perfect as a combo of those two stories. So Crunchyroll's up for sale. So we found out a little while ago that Crunchyroll doesn't pay its subbers a good wage. So the feel good anime, the legit of the season, is actually not as feel good anymore. And then
What's
Kiss Anime, which is where most people who watch their anime in pirate format got super killed. Because, of
so
course,
uh Crunchyroll like I remember when I first heard about it, and the number one selling point to me was being told that yeah, they basically have simulcasts, and they work with and pay the anime studios directly. So
mhm.
what you watch actually helps David Production 1-to-1.
Yep.
And I
And
was like,
lets David
that's
Production
awesome.
know that that people in the West want to see JoJo.
I love that. That sounded great to me. And there was a really complicated way that they break down everyone's monthly sub for that. But that's what I was told, and that's what I basically was like, fuck yeah, I'm in on that. Um, all right. The world says that's lies. Hmm.
Except that that wasn't exactly true, basically.
So what is true then?
That's true is that Crunchyroll got a bunch of licenses and would would pay people bad wages to sub it, and they were the official distributor.
But was there no direct kickback to the studios?
I am
Was that
personally
completely
not
fictional?
familiar.
Okay. Well, if I'm being told
Basically,
overwhelmingly that that's a lie, I'm a bit
the Crunch, all the parts
confused.
that make you feel good about Crunchyroll, just pretend they don't make you feel good anymore.
But
Oh, people are saying they did pay them, but they paid them like almost nothing. There you go. So,
so what's the subtitle story?
oh, you didn't catch that? It came out that like the people that work for Crunchyroll are paid like dog shit. That they're paid contract wages per job, but the amount of hours that it takes to do the sub job compared to like what time it actually takes, like throws it way under minimum wage. People are saying $80 an episode on like a short deadline.
Okay.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So the feel good legit way to get anime is not feel good. And then Kiss Anime is
Mhm.
dead because, of course, it is, and it'll just it's something new will pop up. But it has started the conversation about piracy and anime and all that, and I think way more interesting than Crunchyroll being up for sale, or streaming sites or torrent sites getting shut down for anime, is watching a bunch of voice actors come out and out themselves as the most out of touch, privileged pieces of shit ever with their fucking hot piracy takes.
Okay, I was wondering where this was going because I'm like I well, like I when the story came out, I'm like I didn't really know or use Kiss Anime. So when that came up, I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, okay,
I don't use any
I
streaming
don't
anime
know.
websites.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I know with you, like, even on just a quality level, you'd probably, like, take issue. But yeah, I so that was one of those things that, like, I saw the news, but I was also kind of like not too sure what the impact of that was. I
Yeah.
guess out of touch with how popular it may or may not have been.
Hmm.
So I was a bit confused as to why you were bringing it up.
Yeah, it comes because the big topic is pirate. Because a lot of people, that was how they got their animes, and they're like, "Oh
Okay.
no, now I can't watch anime." And then people of the industry go, "Well, just buy it." And the overwhelming response from nearly everyone is, "I can't, dumb shit." And then the response back is, "Well, I guess it's not for you then." Quote, who is this voice actress? Voice actor on Fire Force and Fairy Tale. It's not available in my country. How am I supposed to watch it? You're not supposed to watch it. It's specifically not available to you. There's also a series of interactions with people in the Philippines arguing with people who are dub actors going, "Hey, I want to support you. How can I support you?" And they're like, "Buy the official release." And they're like, "There is no official release."
Right.
And that's met with like disbelief of, "What do you mean there's no official release?" I'm like, "I'm telling you there's no official release of this anime in the Philippines."
Okay. Well,
It doesn't.
that's a conversation that I feel we've had many times. That's pretty much sorted. It's I cannot give you my money. You will not take it. Fuck you. I guess that's what it is. Then.
Yeah.
I've
I just
literally
wanna
been
make
on the record saying that to HBO about Game of Thrones while it was airing. I remember. So
there's also the fun extra one. If you're too poor, just save up and wait. No. Crunchyroll got its start by being a piracy website. Poor people who will never have the ability to appreciate a fucking piece of medium does not mean that they're less worthy of it. And it doesn't mean that they don't want to support it. When somebody says, "How can I do this?" and the answer is, "Don't be poor," that's not a very satisfying reaction.
yeah, that's not really a take that you can say to someone's face and just end the discussion.
Like I remember being a young man in high school and not having any goddamn money for video games, and my parents didn't have any money for video games.
Mm-hmm.
So my friends and I ran a series of like used game rackets, and when that stopped working, we ran a let's say digital backup scheme
Mm-hmm.
for PS1 games. And that's because if not, I would just not have been able to play those games at all. Like, period.
Yeah. So, what response do you have to your devil's advocate argument about like what things you can access versus what you can't based on what money you have when it comes to life in general?
Go fuck yourself.
Hmm.
I don't care to make that like. Did you know that 99% of poor people have refrigerators?
What?
The gall. What a luxury. Like go like it's oh my god, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and to our mostly American audience, a lot of this attitude, and I'm sure Wooly, you will agree with me, is informed by the Canadian experience of media, which I'm going to assume Australians and Europeans are very familiar with as well as everybody in
the non-American experience.
yeah, non-Americans, where you go, "Hey, can I watch this?" No, but I want to watch it. It seems cool. Fuck off.
as of literally current day, you will occasionally be linked to some sort of story or YouTube video where you click it and then it says the broadcaster has indicated this is not available in your country. Like that happens to us on a regular basis up here.
I tend to hang out late at night with pals in Discord, and we'll hit up a sync tube and watch a bunch of dumb bullshit. And every now and then, it's like, sorry, this content's not available in your country. And I'm like, let's see about that, ExpressVPN. Thanks a lot.
Sponsor. Shout-outs.
Not this week, but weeks past and probably weeks future.
Oh, there you go.
It's
and then there's also been, if I'm not mistaken, study like every time I say something like this, I just immediately go,
you feel
all right, hit me with the reason why this is bullshit. But it happened 2 seconds ago with fucking Crunchyroll, and I'm still reeling from that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's true or not. I've been told that like in many circumstances, given an opportunity to pay for something that people enjoy that is fairly priced, people will happily pay for the thing.
Well, I mean, we have a definitive, like, real world example of that with digital distribution for video games. The single biggest hit to piracy ever was the fact that almost everyone in almost every region could just buy a fucking video game hassle-free.
Yeah, so, I with that ideology comes, if you extrapolate that into everything else, you kind of go like, oh, okay, well then, if something like Crunchyroll exists, then, that seems like it would work out. And then, yeah, it seemed like it did. Which is also why I'm kind of like, oh, man, fuck, what? Because that is an inexpensive way to have access to a whole lot of anime and, what I thought was support it.
I never hopped on the Crunchyroll thing because, I had the situation that I'm sure a lot of people did, where I go, oh, cool, I will gladly pay for and support my anime. All right, I want to watch this. Okay, I wanted to watch One Piece on fucking Crunchyroll, right? And I said, fuck it, right? That'd be a lot easier than somehow otherwise watching One Piece. And then I clicked on One Piece, and the fucking thing starts at episode 261.
Right.
Yeah. Why the fuck would I pay for that shit?
Stuff that's not even in its complete. That sucks too.
The fuck is the point of this thing?
Was there some sort of legal or production switchover where licensing from up to a certain episode was handled by a different company?
I'm going to assume it's that licensing was season based. But that's just an assumption.
That fucking sucks, man.
Remember the fucking actual decades of you're not allowed to watch Evangelion?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Straight up.
Yep.
The single most important fucking anime of the 90s.
Which directly led to...
do you want to watch End of Evangelion? Fucking track down a fucking $400 VHS tape.
Which directly led to the weirdness of it being on Netflix and so many people experiencing it for the first time, despite already being immersed in its memes and its popularity through other references,
Fucking nonsense. And to I just want to clarify one thing. Normally, I would argue with the devil's advocate on almost any topic.
Mm-hmm.
But unless they come at it with the attitude of, let's have a discussion, and your first point is, well, it's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere to go in that
Mm-hmm.
in that discussion. There's no fucking actual progress to be made.
The only thing I try to think of what are similar mediums though where there's no way to obtain it in whatever context, because I was gonna say movies are an example of a thing that exists and you have to go to a place to get them, until eventually you didn't have to do that anymore. There and like that was like one of the first things that was fucking this discussion started coming up about, right? But let's say, for example, do you remember? Okay, so Broadway shows, right? Avenue Q, I've always wanted to see but never got to, and it's over. And that is here's a medium. It has things that you can consume, and it's only available where it is, and then it's gone. There's no real other way around it. With, of course, certain exceptions, because I know that like Book of Mormon got filmed. But like that's I'm like that's one of those mediums where it's like the nature of what it is makes it like almost prohibitive to like this type of
don't
discussion.
have money, resources, and time to travel to Broadway to see a show live. Get fucked, poors. Like, yeah, how about that? Yeah, I have a really great example of some outrageous shit. Hey, Woolie, at one point in your life, you liked wrestling.
I still think wrestling's pretty cool.
Would you like to watch wrestling, such as WWE Network?
Sure.
I'm on the website right now. Watch WWE Network in Canada. Do you know what the very first fucking question on the page is?
Mm-hmm.
Choose your television provider.
Mm-hmm.
What television provider do you have, Bully?
None.
Oh, well, fuck off then.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Can't just click the button. Can't go to the website and click the play button, or download the app and click the play button.
I would fucking watch wrestling for $10 a month if I could just go to the goddamn website and just goddamn sign up.
Yeah,
I would
but
totally get back into wrestling.
Yeah, but the ESPN Stegosaurus needs you to pay him his due. He needs to wet his beak if you want to watch that wrestling. Because prior to the network, you had to watch his channel. So after the network, you must continue to pay tribute.
I don't want to.
Well, then you get no wrestling.
Okay. Yeah. See, that I feel wrestling's the perfect one because it's the perfect example of if it was easy for me to get, I would totally watch wrestling from time to time if I was bored. I would put it on in my second monitor and I would grind a bunch of bullshit because I think complaining about wrestling is almost as fun as good wrestling. Because bad wrestling is the worst. But I don't care enough to actually go through the fucking steps to pirate wrestling. Because it's just not that good. It's not worth it.
Yeah. I hope the data that says that people that like a thing and think that it's fairly priced for what they can afford are happy to pay for the thing. I think that makes sense. And I think if you get too high on that drug that you start telling people who live in countries where something doesn't exist too fucking bad for the circumstances of your birth, you're kind of a dick. You're an asshole for that. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's a really shitty thing to say to somebody.
Like, could you imagine? Like,
and it's at the very minimum, it is not a convincing way to make your point that will will win the person over to whatever you're trying to convince them of. That's not how you're gonna do it. Clearly.
Could you imagine a musician, like a singer? Let's say fucking Garth Brooks comes out with a new album, right? Fucking country legend Garth Brooks comes out with a new album and says, I don't want Europeans to listen to my fucking album. They're not allowed. crazy. Wait, why are people asking me who Garth Brooks is? That's a poll? Is that a poll? Oh my fucking god, I'm so old. Oh, he's 60? When did that? Oh, man.
Is there a joke about Garth Who? Is Garth Who a meme? Garth Who is a meme. I think it's got to be.
Or are we just old? You know who Garth Brooks is, right?
It's kind of crazy that they don't. Okay. All right. Whatever.
About country stuff.
All right. No. It's exactly what it is.
Oh man. If I had said Phil Collins, would you all just look at me weird too?
No, because The Hangover had that song with Mike Tyson doing the part.
Oh, god damn it. God damn it.
Anyway. Look, man. You can boomer that shit all you want. There's a ton of music from before my time that, like, I grew up feeling like I had to know / learn about as an almost like a rite of passage into like society conversation. You know?
I really like the Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatles is a great example of some shit that came out way before my time that I eventually like on my own time went back to like listen to and find out after the fact, and was like, oh shit, you know what? There's some good stuff here. That's pretty cool. You know what else is pretty old? Kido Senshi Gundam.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna sit here and pretend that, like, you know, old ass shit in other mediums doesn't like is not a similar way of apply is not similarly applicable, right? Like, who would freak out? Who would freak out at a reference to Mario World 1-1? Like, what is that? Who? What? No one would, obviously, because it's relevant to your current thing, but you know about it through the history of the thing you're currently following. Right? But if there's an album from that same year that someone put out, like Garth Brooks, that gets a fucking Who reaction, it's like, okay, but these things are coming from the same point in time, you know?
You guys remember Shania Twain? She was really pretty.
Like, if you can be uptight about, like, I don't know, Final Fantasy 1 or some other similarly ancient video game, but look at an artist that came afterwards and be dismissive about that, there's something a bit goofy there, isn't there? There's something a bit silly about that. No?
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I think everyone that's even 1 year younger than us is having fun at our expense because we're old, and that it will happen to them soon.
Oh, it already does. The difference is just you can the fun part about being a human being with an age is that you can option select okay boomer to be everyone above your current year, and you can go, oh, you fucking kids, oh, sweet summer child, for anyone below your current year. It's pretty diverse.
Like it.
Yeah. You know, it has lots of applicable uses to it. You will use both of those things interchangeably depending on which bracket you feel like standing on.
Back when I was your age, we had to inject drugs into our body. You couldn't just use slappers.
Back when I was young, the internet didn't exist.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big one.
Ultimate, honestly.
That's the one.
I remember the introduction of the internet to society.
I remember
And
being a
it's
kid
pretty
and
crazy.
having to get used to it. There was no internet. We're the last ones.
Okay, anybody who doesn't know what I mean by slappers needs to go watch the Batman Beyond episode about drugs. They slap little patches on themselves and become super buff. It's a Bane episode technically.
Batman what? Who?
Beyond. Stop it! Stop!
Yeah.
No.
Hold up,
No.
I gotta pee.